Hi, welcome to CIT 270, lesson number 7, presentation on VPNs. So let's go start with the protocols that we'll be using. There are a lot of protocols out there that you can use for VPNs usage and everything. The one that I chose is point-to-point tunneling protocol, port 1723. And also the other protocol that will be used will be generic routing encapsulation. And that's protocol 47. So let's go over like an overlay of the network. So I've got three virtual machines that I've created. One is the VPN server running 2012. One is running pfSense, which is my router. And one is going to be the VPN client running Windows 8. Now the pfSense is connected to my local LAN, and also the VPN client is connected to my local LAN. The pfSense has its own LAN, and the VPN server is only connected to that pfSense LAN. The VPN server can access the internet and also can ping like the VPN client and stuff like that that's on the external on my local LAN. But the VPN client cannot go internally. So let's move over to like how I configured the VPN on the pfSense. So this was a little bit difficult. It took me some time to figure out. Most of the routers that I've actually used, and I've used some industrial routers and all that kind of stuff, all you ever had to do was forward the 1723 and you have no issue. It just goes through. But pfSense, I guess it is a little bit more robust, and it's got more granular configurations. I found out that you actually have to forward the GRE packets as well. Otherwise, you can't connect. And I think it's it's actually pretty nice that you can do that, because you have more granular configuration settings that you can do on all the port configurations for your VPNs. So let's go ahead and so we've got, here's the client, and then over here is the server. Just to kind of like show some things here. Let's go IP config, and as you can see, it's on that the IP address, and also on which subnet it's on. And as you can see here, we are on this the subnet, and it's completely different. So if I go ahead and ping my VPN client from the VPN server, as you can see, I get a response. But then if I go here and try to ping the server, I'm going to get a destination unreachable. Make sure I got the right IP. Yeah, destination unreachable. So now I'm going to show you the configuration I did over here on the VPN configuration on the client. So I just created a VPN, and it's just with the IP address. I normally, if it was probably more of a production setting, you'd have a URL that would be pointing to this IP address. It's easier to remember URLs than it is IPs. And then just basic security, nothing special in this lab environment. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and connect. So we got this connected now. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to reping my server. And now I'm getting a response back. It didn't lose anything, and it was sending and receiving. And also, the one other things that I did for testing was I created a share. So here's my share on the server. So let's go ahead and go to that share. And here we go. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go over here and let's go ahead and create a test document. and just go in here and just say this is a test. Let's go ahead and save that. And I've got it over here, and it says the same thing. So let's go ahead and let's delete it from the server. And as you can see, it deleted from the client as well, from the share. And so I can access network resources, anything from the server, all that kind of stuff by being connected through a VPN. And it's encrypted using the GRE. You've got the encryption, and then it's safe, so you can really go to a coffee shop or any kind of thing that you have internet connectivity and use a VPN and be more feel better about using stuff that might be a little bit an internet connection that's a little bit questionable, and then you'd be able to connect to your network or your computer and stuff like that in a secure fashion. So that one other thing I forgot is multi-factor authentication. That's really a big thing right now. I have multi-factor authentication on most of my emails. I think it's great because then you don't have people, even if they get your password, they can't easily get into your email accounts. From the research I did, multi-factor authentication are all they all have to have some kind of a cloud-based system. So even though it's tied, so if you're using Windows, how I did it, the Windows will authenticate the user through username and password, and then it will send it out to the third party or other device that other services that you have to get send that text, to enter the passcode and stuff and things of that nature. The one thing I did like, the one I really was interested in, was the Windows Azure configuration with the multi-factor authentication. In the past I've set up Office 365 settings where you got a on-premise server, and then you have all the clients using email through Office 365, and I use AD Connect. And using that, it was really simple to set up. It syncs. It does what it needs to do. And one of the things using Windows Azure, if you have a Windows infrastructure, you can easily integrate that to your Windows infrastructure without a lot of changes or configuration updates. And that's the stuff that I have researched. And that completes the presentation. Thank you for your time.